This video is going to demonstrate the steps for using our antique red brown and our midnight black. As you see, I have everything lined up here and ready to go. I got the midnight black and the antique red brown, the neutralizer, my water, and an air hose. Here's how these two products work. You got your clean piece of steel, and you can spray or you can dip, and you'll see this is the midnight black. It instantly gives you a dark black finish. The antique red brown on the other side here, I'll show you, gives you a reddish brown finish. Now I'm doing these two products together and I'll show you the reason why. The steps are exactly the same for these two products, but you can do something really unique with these products at the end. So this is the process. Now always water after every application. So after you do use whichever product you're using, or both, you're going to rinse it with water. So this is a bucket of water here. So I'm going to rinse. Now I need to go ahead and neutralize this product with our Rust to Rest. So I'm going to spray that on. Let that work for 15-20 seconds. Then I need to completely rinse that with water. And as always, the most critical step is to get that moisture off this steel so it doesn't rust. And once it's good and dry, take a heat gun or a blow dryer to it, make sure there's no moisture left over. That's when you're going to go ahead and seal it with either our gloss or our matte sealer, whichever your preference is. Now, as I was saying earlier, one of the unique things you can do with these two products is what they are is they're fragile until you seal them. And what I mean by that is they form a powder, a colored powder on top of the steel, which allows you to buff it to a lighter shade. I still got a little bit of wetness on my piece here, but you can see it'll get lighter as you buff it down. And where this really works out good is like pieces of handrail or stamp metal or something that has crevices, where you can buff off the top layer and then down in the crevices and the grooves it'll stay darker, gives you a two-tone look. So now obviously you haven't sealed it yet at this point. Once you seal it, you're going to hold the color that you had. And so once you buff it down, now if you seal it, this is the look you're going to get. So let's do this again. Demonstrate the antique red brown on the other side here. Another clean piece of steel. And you can see instantly antique red brownish look. Then you rinse with water. Neutralize it. Now you can, if you're using a hose to rinse it, you want to be careful. You don't want to use high pressure water because it's a very fragile finish, like I said, and you will remove some of the finish if you've got real high pressure. So if you're using a sprayer like this, or if you're using a hose, you don't want to use high pressure. So you just want to kind of let it rinse it off, but don't spray really hard directly on the finish. And you want to dry it. And then if that was the finish you were looking for, at this point now you would seal it, or you could take that extra step, go ahead and buff down certain areas, give it certain highlights, and then you would seal it after that. That's the antique red brown and the midnight black.